Brought to you by BC Water and Waste Association, the people who keep your water clean and safe.
If you've been thinking you're all that you've got, then don't feel alone anymore. When we're together, then you've got a lot. 'Cause I am the river, you are the shore. I'm Renee Clark, and I work with the Regional District of North Okanagan. I'm the Water Quality Manager. My major role really is the Water Quality Program. And the Water Quality Program encompasses from the source to the tap. We monitor the water at the source. We're working on assessments and protection planning, protecting water quality, protecting water. It's very complex. We're kind of like investigators, I think, sometimes. Are there changes happening because of climate change, because of land use activities? Our hazards that we've looked at are human kind of caused hazards. Road crossings, where you have sediment delivery to your creek, the ranching community. I think we're working very well with them, created some really good infrastructure that keeps cattle out of sensitive areas. I really love working with people. I'm very passionate about that, and that's why I think, with watershed protection, that's why it's worked so far, because the relationship that I've built with the other stakeholders, I think that they believe in me and I believe in them. So, I think at the end of the day, we're going to, make a difference.
I really do enjoy working with people. I enjoy facilitating ideas coming out. I like being the person standing up at the front of the room and writing notes on the whiteboard or starting to do the sketch and saying, is this what you were thinking? And then handing the pen to somebody else to come up and have them, change it a bit and say, no, it was kind of like this, but to kind of be the catalyst to get that conversation going, I really enjoy. My name is Sharon Peters, and I'm a professional engineer, and I'm responsible for managing the Seymour Capilano Filtration Plant for Metro Vancouver. What really drew me into engineering was solving problems. You need to be analytical, but you also need to be creative. And I think you need to be curious. When you have the opportunity to see how all the component parts work together and to see that process happening the way it was envisioned, it's quite magical. One of the things that's fascinating about this project from an engineering perspective is just all the different disciplines that are involved in making a facility like this work. The contribution that we're making for the region's drinking water, that we're able through this facility to bring it to a new level of cleanliness and safety, it's extremely rewarding.
You know how weather people, they forecast the weather. I'm able to forecast what's going to happen with the water. When I see the weather and the water changes in the community, I'm able to forecast what kind of treatment is necessary. I'm June Williams. I'm the Tetchet Water Treatment Plant Operator. I take the water from the lake and I take all the bacteria and viruses out of it, make it safe and drinkable for our community. I feel like this is my little dollhouse. I want everything just perfect. Just being able to produce good drinking water just makes me feel so good. My mom and my dad used to haul water from the lake with pails when I was a little girl, or else we used to melt snow in the wintertime for our water, and I used to see all kinds of living organisms in the water we used to drink. They're trusting their whole body to me. They're trusting their lives to me. They're trusting their children's lives to me. They're putting their whole trust in me. And I don't want to break that trust.
I'm definitely a little fickle. I just have a way about me that, you know, I gotta have everything exactly so, and I gotta, you know, kind of have my head in everything and find out, you know, what everybody's doing, make sure they're all doing the right thing, and I gotta keep my truck just so and nice and clean and all my tools in the same place. But that's the way I like to do it. My name is Mike Weaver, and I'm a Level 3 operator for the Capital Regional District in Greater Victoria. I look after the supply and distribution system in our community here. It's very much like a web. You got all these fingers coming out, all these different distribution pipes and going down all sorts of different roads, and it's important to keep the water flowing through the system so that there's a constant movement of the water. You don't have water becoming stagnant and sitting for long periods of time not being used, because then bacteria has a chance to grow. So you want to keep that flow, you want to keep it moving, you want to keep it fresh. This is my community. My family lives here, my friends all live here. I don't find that there's any details too small for me.
As a woman, it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of stamina, it takes thick skin, and I certainly have to stand my ground. My name is Carolyn Stewart with the City of Penticton. I'm the environmental coordinator, so my role is multifaceted. I'm interested in water conservation, demand-side management, cross-connection control, of course, as well as climate action. What I do is to make sure that the regulations and standards are enforced, all with the end goal in making sure that contaminants never come out of our taps. There is so much adversity that occurs on a daily basis. You have to be politically astute. It's good to have a strong business background so that you can understand what the barriers are. And certainly it has to be somebody who's not afraid to stand up for herself. But it's something that you have to look beyond the fear or the uneasiness or the insecurities, and you have to continue and keep the end goal in mind to eliminate the hazards that exist so that we can have safe drinking water. Water is like my blood. It's in me, and I cannot do without it.
Some people say I'm a bit hyperactive and I have a lot of energy, but I think that helps me a lot in my career because I need a lot of mental stimuli. I need to face new challenges on a day-to-day basis. Working in this wastewater industry, that's there for you. You're always faced with new challenges. My name is Adam Leva. I'm a Level 3 operator with the Capital Regional District, and I work on the wastewater collection system. There's an old saying that the greatest achievement for the health of mankind wasn't penicillin, it wasn't a vaccine, but it was the development of wastewater collection systems, because this now isolated the general population from different viruses, pathogens, bacteria that we know exist in wastewater. Funny way of thinking of it is almost like the human circulation system. You have all these small little veins that direct the sewage to large trunk veins, and they all end up at one spot. In your body, your blood all ends up in your heart. For wastewater collection system, it all ends up at an appropriate treatment facility. Here, our little collection system is very important for this plant because the health of this plant is directly tied to the collection system. What you get in is going to affect what you get out. As an environmentalist, with a background, that greatly affects me, it greatly concerns me. I'm very proud to be part of that.
I like to flow with the plant. This plant is nonstop. You can't stop the flow of this plant, and you can't stop the flow of me, because I'm just going to keep on driving, just like the flow. My name is Lyle Pinchot. I'm a Level 2 operator for the City of Penticton Wastewater Treatment Plant. Wastewater is a variety of things. We don't know what's coming down to us, so we have to treat it as it comes. My job here at the plant is to take the influent wastewater and clean it so that we can discharge it into the receiving waters nearby. Once you know that you can break it down, it just doesn't seem as dangerous. You know, if you're not squeamish, then you can handle anything here. And to know that I can do my test at the end of the day and know that I can send it to a receiving water and not harm a fish or a human, that's pretty much amazing to me. We turn crap into magic.
For me, I'm trying to learn as much as I can about the understanding of the plant itself and the process that's involved. For myself, I have to understand it before I can pass that information on. And it's just fascinating that it's actually a living process. My name is Frank Dolmeyer. I work at Annacis Island Wastewater Treatment Plant. We recover a lot of our energy here because we use the sludge from our secondary treatment process and our primary treatment process. The byproduct of that process is the methane gas which is produced, and we can use that to generate electricity, which reduces our electrical demand. Our final effluent water, we recover that and put it through a filter and add chlorine to make it safe. That water gets used in hose stations. It gets used in the pumps, seal waters. It saves us from using city water. We're reducing our our footprint.
I'm never afraid to ask questions. I think that that's important, to always not think that you know the answers. So always wanting to ask more questions, especially with emerging contaminants. The answers aren't there. So you have to look under many stones and under different stones and using, different angles to get under those stones. My name is Trisha Brett, and I'm a master's candidate at the University of British Columbia in Okanagan. Specifically, I'm looking at the effluent of wastewater treatment plants and looking at the estrogen content in that, and then looking at what the estrogen content is in the receiving waters, and then how the receiving waters sort of deal with that estrogen content. Like, treatment plants are excellent. There's such minute quantities of contaminants out there. Why do we have to worry? Does that mean that what we're doing is okay and is okay and we shouldn't have to improve? No, I think we should improve what we're doing, our practices, definitely. We can improve what's going into the environment through other mechanisms. But ultimately the goal is to protect the water sources for either drinking water purposes or ecological purposes. Looking at nice, clean, crystal clear water, there's just something that makes me smile when I see that.